So the footballer Pele has passed away, and a lot of people are calling back to a prophecy video that I made, I think about 2 months back, from Hubert Angel, and they are saying the prophecy has been fulfilled. He did say that Pele was going to pass away, but you refused to see it. So I wanted to couple this video with other prophecies that that other people had made around Pele, and I wanted to point out something, but I also wanted to point out to something that he himself had said about soccer. And so we're going to use that, therefore, to kind of pan through this subject and look at this fulfillment of prophecy that we are talking about. It's the church reality check. And in this particular episode, that is the subject of the day. Now, condolences to the family. I mean, like, Pele has inspired many soccer players. He has inspired many people that have been involved with sports as in general. I remember one of my friends who was from Durban, who passed away about early this year. If you remember, I made a video about it. He loved soccer, and this is one of the people that he would have looked up to. But I wanted to talk about this subject with full contrast to the whole thing. Now, I'm going to give you a hint here and tell you where do we start with this particular prophet here who made a prophecy.
There is a great star.
Il y a une grande étoile.
A great star.
Grande étoile.
A legend.
Une légende.
I mean, somebody playing football.
Une personne qui joue.
Someone has played football. That means someone who has contributed so greatly.
Une personne qui a tellement contribué
to the world of sports.
Dans le monde du sport.
Especially football.
Spécialement le football.
For now, there is nothing.
Pour le moment, il n'y a rien.
But 3 days ago, I saw him disappear from the face of the earth.
And so those were his words. You know, he's not hinting at too much, you know, just kind of like being broad. He's going to just kind of be like being broad about the prophecy, as you might put it. Now, it kind of reminds me of the second prophecy that came out as well before we go to the Hubert Angel by this other prophet here.
Preserve his life. An international player in Zambia is going home, and including an international player of a player who is in the Premier League right now, and a specific legend in the Brazilian football international system, or whatever they call it. And the Lord said his time is up. And there is another international player in Nigeria, Super Eagles, that is about to go home. So we should also pray concerning this player. And there are a few players that I'm hearing the Lord is rising in Nigeria that is going to be a star after this World Cup. So new players are rising in Nigeria who's going to be a big superstar and that will take the nation to World Cup.
This particular prophecy here, I have a bit of a comment around it. The reason being, these comments mostly came out after Hubert Angel's prophecy.
So this man, whether you pray or you don't pray, he is going. But when I looked at him, he touched many people's hearts. But his time is near.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so if you're crediting Hubert Angel, fine. These other prophecies that you're seeing here, they came out after his prophecy. But also, Hubert Angel's prophecy as well came out after Pele had been admitted. Okay? And I don't know if it was cancer or whatnot, but Pele had already been admitted and so forth. And all that kind of jazz of him not being well in health. And also, prophesying to a person who's over 80 years old, for me, it's just kind of like, okay, who is ill at health? It's just like, what do you want them to do, man? You want them to just not have a good life going forward with family and whatnot and be constantly thinking about death? For me, there is an aspect of heartlessness in that particular subject, but that just might be me. But remember, Hubert Angel gave a prophecy, right? In the prophecy, he says people were looking at his prophecy about London Bridge, which was the Queen, as if it was not thingy. So he said, I'm going to give a prophecy that's going to be on date. Now, it's been 2 months. I was still waiting for someone to send me a confirmation of when did he say the date, because that's what he had said. He had said that he was going to give a date. I don't know if he gave a date. So with that in mind, we were kind of like expecting that when he does finally give an update of the day, as he said, it would be much more, more detailed. He did say Pele, but he didn't give that much detail. On the London Bridge, I did say that his prophecy was a lot more described, right? He had a lot of things that he said there. He said that the year would not end and all that kind of jazz and all that kind of, he said a lot. But what is this other video that I'm talking about that I said I'm going to play? Now, there is this video of Hubert talking about people that have a high value for soccer. And I wanted to talk about that because it kind of showcases this entire subject. Now, I'm going to pause it right there. You can go watch the rest of the video. If you are not clear on what he said, Hubert just said that anybody that sits down watching soccer, watching men wearing shorts and kicking around the ball, it's silly. You need to knock their head. So he's saying that there's very low viewpoint. He has a very low viewpoint on soccer. But now remember, when he gave the prophecy about Portugal winning the World Cup, he made it this whole big thing that there was somebody that had given an offering, and because someone had given an offering, that person's team was going to win. He changed his mind on which team was going to win. France was going to win, but now that this person had given money, that person's team is going to win. And I found that very fascinating. It's not that God is thinking, it's that he changed God's mind about this particular. The money changed God's mind. The money did that. And I'm like, okay, very interesting. This is quite interesting. This is a quick, interesting approach towards the subject. But not just that. It's that he is saying that because of one person's interest, the team had to win. Fine. But he says that a person that watches soccer needs a knocking in the head, right? That's what he said. So if a person that watches soccer needs a knocking in the head, but then claiming that God was prophesying to him or was giving him a word about which team was going to win, it implies that what about God? My interest in this is, so are we saying that God is not, what does he say? What's he saying exactly? If you were to combine both what he's saying here, there isn't consistency in what he's saying. Because he is saying something about God here that I found quite weird, but maybe that's just me. Y'all guys tell me what your thoughts are on this one, because that's from him directly. Okay? So should I have a high view of the supposed fulfillment when he thinks that people that do watch that are, and then at the same time while claiming that God is prophesying that? I am very interested in hearing their viewpoint. It's Ricky. I'll leave it here. Other episodes down in the pin comments, and I'll see you over there.